Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review. And today from Mattel, in their Masters of the Universe Origins line, we have Leech, the evil master of power suction. So this is celebrating the 40th anniversary of He-Man, which is crazy, and it's also depressing because it makes me realize just how old I am. So we have Leech from the Evil Horde. He's one of Hordak's henchmen. As you can see, this is a deluxe figure. It's on the larger card back, and it has the additional accessories on the side. I purchased this at my local Walmart maybe like a month ago, but it's just now that I'm getting around to reviewing it. I have no sentimental attachment to Leech. When he originally came out in the mid-80s, I think around maybe in 1985 or 86, by then I was really into like Transformers. Masters of the Universe was kind of like, for me, it kind of, I kind of moved along away from that. But I do remember when the Horde set of actions figures came out, and I remember I kind of really dug, like, Hordak, even though I wasn't really, collecting this toy line at that point. But here I am as an adult, and I get to buy some of the action figures that I passed up on, during my early youth. So this is one of those really gimmicky kind of action figures. As you can see here, the figure really sticks to smooth surfaces because he kind of has a suction cup on his head. Beautiful character artwork right up here. It's the throwback card, with the explosion and all the red and all the asteroids flying around. He comes with an alternate head that doesn't have the crazy suction cup, which I think is kind of cool. He comes with alternate hands, and he comes with a crossbow. On the back, we have a beautiful illustration. This looks really cool. I dig that a lot. So Leech's energy-draining suction brings even more Eternia's mightiest to their knees. So that's awesome. And then here, it kind of shows you how the gimmick works. You take the guy's head and you apply the suction cup to a smooth surface, much like a window or a sheet of glass. And his arms and legs are also with suction cups. Some other figures in this wave include the 2000X He-Man. That's something I really want. Snout Spout. I've seen this in the store a handful of times, but I haven't pulled the trigger on it just yet. Mantenna, that's actually a figure I really want. There's Pighead and also Evil Warriors Skeletor. And then there's also the Roton vehicle, which I've seen at my Walmart as well. It's been a while since I opened up Masters of the Universe figure, and I forgot they have all these plastic ties that hold them down. Alright, so what do you get with the action figure? You get the comic book, the Knight of the Leech. That's a really, really cool illustration of Leech. I've said this before, but I'm really hoping that at some point in time, Mattel or maybe another company actually collects all the comic books and puts them in like in a hardcover collection. I think that'd be really awesome. They did that before with like the original comic books. I think those are published by Dark Horse Comics. I think it's Dark Horse. They have like a whole line of Masters of the Universe like hardcovers. Some that highlight the animation, some that highlight the characters, and then there's actually like a thick hardcover that has all the comic books collected in it. It's really cool. So here is that little diagram that shows which pieces are removable. So with Leech, you can remove his head, his arms detach at the shoulders, and then he can detach at the boots also. If he's like other figures, you can even remove the legs, but you have to submerge the figure in like hot water to soften up the hip joints. So this is really awesome. Dig this. Alright, so we get the alternate head. Let's take a look at that real quick. It's weird because this looks more like a dog or a wolf. And also like a hippo. It looks like a combination of like, I don't know, like 4 different animals. It's really cool though. It's very cartoony. I like the fact that they give you the option of, either having them with the suction cup or without. But for me, I think I'm probably going to opt and have the suction cup head on because for me, that's kind of like, the iconic version. This is what I always remember, especially as a child. It looks really weird without the suction cup. It almost seems like a completely different character. Like when I was younger, I always kind of associated the suction cup face. It's kind of like one of those, I forgot what the name of the fish is called. It's those fish that people have in their aquariums that, keep the aquarium nice, clean, and tidy. And the fish, like, they don't have like a normal mouth. It's almost just like this, where it's like a suction cup. And the fish kind of like stick to like the inside of the aquarium. It's kind of weird. But I was kind of like associated that with this. I never really thought of him as not having a suction cup mouth. I always thought he looked like this, but I guess in reality, this is what he'd probably look like. But again, it's also very different because this one has ears. Where this one has ears also, but it's not separated. Alright, so I could be wrong. Maybe this is something that's pulled from like another part of the fiction, like maybe, I don't know, the cartoon or the comic books. It kind of escapes me right now. Alright, so we also get a crossbow. We've seen this before with other figures. Very simple to do. There's a latch mechanism here and a hook. You take the hook, push this back until it latches, and then you push this down, and it kind of like shoots forward just by like a centimeter. And then over here, you just like wrap this around the character's forearm. So we have that. And then we have 2 different hands, which is kind of neat also because if you don't want Leech to have the suction hands, you can swap them out. And I'm also thinking that maybe you can swap out his feet, possibly. Not 100% sure on that, because it'd be kind of cool if they give you the option of, swapping these out. But I don't know if they have the same joint. But I don't want to risk it, so. I'm also thinking, too, that if you want, you can easily army build this figure. For example, if you want to create Leech and give him henchmen, you can use this you could buy 3 of these figures, use this guy here as, the main character Leech. And then if you wanted to, just do head swaps with the other ones, and you could say it's like his gang or something. All right, so let's start taking a look at this guy up close. The head, like I said, it's very iconic. It's a very recognizable Masters of the Universe character. The sculpting on the figure, it's very much in line with like what we got during the 80s. He has a very unique body. He has Hordak's symbol on his torso. Really nice looking belt and buckle. As you can see, his suction hands kind of have like almost like the equivalent of like webbed frog fingers. He's a nice shade of green also. I dig that a lot. And he's such a mark for Hordak. He even has Hordak on his boots. And then we have the suction cup feet. So this gimmick, it's supposed to like stick to stuff that's like a smooth surface. I think the only thing I have at my desk right now that I could try sticking them onto is my coffee mug. Let's see if this works. So here's a suction cup, and will it stick? Yeah, it does. So he actually sticks to something. You see, the gimmick actually really works. And then if you want to remove it, you just, there's a little tab up here. You just pull it at the tab, and it removes. The same can be done with his hands also. There you go, suction cup hands. And then if you want to remove it, just pull the tab, it comes off. So that's one of the, I think that's actually one of the funner gimmicks with like a Masters of the Universe figure. I always dug that way as a kid, how some of the figures did more than just like have like, you know, like a punching action or something. Alright, so in terms of this guy's articulation, it's going to be very standard. His head rotates. Does he look down? About there. He looks up. About there. His arms rotate like most Masters figures, and then they go out. And they can even detach it if you want to do a like part swap with another character. Get back in there. His elbows bend, and then they swivel also. Wrist articulation, waist articulation. You can kick up a little bit, kick out a little bit, bend at the knee, swivel at the knee, swivel at the boot. And let's take a look at the alternate head. Easily pops off. And then this plugs in. Yeah, it looks like a completely different character. It's wild. Take the hands off. I'm going to take off only one of the hands because I don't see what this looks like. So I'm assuming this is his right hand. I'm guessing that's the thumb right here. Yeah, it's cool. It's like a completely different dude. I dig this a lot. That's wild. Yeah, really cool looking figure. To be honest, when I first saw this in the store, pardon me, I was kind of hesitant at first about picking them up because when it comes to the Masters of the Universe figures, I'm not like super hardcore where I feel like I need to complete the entire set and get everything. For me, the line was more about just like getting the figures I had as a child or getting the figures I've always wanted as a child. And this guy wasn't necessarily on my radar, but when I saw him in the store, I'm like, you know, why not? He looks kind of cool. And it really exceeded my expectations. I didn't think I'd like this figure as much as I do. And I really like this alternate head. And I'm kind of thinking that I might have to buy another figure. Because I'd love to display both at least. You know, one with this head and then one with this one. This one's so expressive too. It looks crazy. Yeah, so I can't recommend this figure enough. I think it's really well worth the purchase. And is a Hordak character too. You know, Hordak needs to build out his army. So I think you kind of need this. Alright, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how do I rate this guy? For me, I'm just gonna give him an easy 10. It really exceeded my expectations. I love this alternate head a lot. And I really do like the original head also. For me, it's like I said, it's a very iconic character. And even though I didn't have this as a child, I'm pretty happy that I bought it as an adult. So it's really cool. I dig this a lot. the Masters of the Universe line of action figures, whether it's Origins or Masterverse, it doesn't seem like it's going to die anytime soon. When they first announced that they were doing these figures, I was kind of having this conversation with my good friend JC. I'm like, I don't think this line is going to be like a thing, like full term. I thought it was initially just going to be a couple of waves, and that they just do like, you know, some of the mainline characters and then just call it a day. But I didn't realize they're like knee deep into like the Masters of the Universe now. So it's really cool if you're a fan, and it's also very painful to your wallet if you're a collector. But I don't know, these are great figures. All right, so with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.